Literally, there's no other reason than to make money on the internet.
Child is dead?
Yes, girl. Pretending that you have breast cancer, like just very odd, like distasteful things, man.
Breast cancer.
Insinuating.
Once again, Shyla Walker speaking out, and just like before, she has the internet and the McBrooms in a chokehold. If you thought the Landon McBroom and Shyla Walker drama was over, think again. What started as a breakup has now spiraled into one of the messiest love triangles on the internet, involving Landon McBroom, his ex, and his new girlfriend. So how did this situation get so toxic?
Photoshopped pictures on my child and pretend that she had like a 3rd-degree burn. True or false?
I did not do that.
Oh my God, but you were complacent in it.
And why is it blowing up right now? To understand how we got to this point, we have to take a look at the past, reintroduce the players, and understand all the moving parts. If you're new to this influencer beef, it wasn't always so messy and volatile. Shyla first started on Instagram in 2014, gaining followers for fashion, beauty, and lifestyle posts. She first met Landon on Twitter back in the year 2016. Their meeting wasn't just a chance encounter. It was the start of what many thought would be the next great YouTube dynasty. Landon is the younger brother of Austin McBroom, who is the face of the massive Ace family brand. In June 2017, Shyla and Landon officially launched their joint channel.
Anyways, if you're new here, my name is Landon.
I'm Shyla.
This is LNS, and it gets kind of crazy over here sometimes.
This is LNS. For years, they grew under the shadow and the mentorship of the Ace family, eventually reaching over 3 million subscribers. They shared everything from pranks, daily vlogs, moves, and the birth of their daughter, Shyla, in December 2019. They were the younger, edgier version of Austin and Catherine. But as the Ace family began to face their own public controversies, the cracks in Landon and Shyla's relationship also started to show. By dating Landon, Shyla was brought into the inner circle of Austin and his then partner, Catherine Pays, portraying the ultimate family goals. But that inner circle would soon turn their backs on Shyla, and the family support she once relied on would vanish almost overnight. If the McBrooms were truly the perfect family they claimed to be, then why did Shyla suddenly get exiled? The fallout first began in May 2021 when the couple announced their split, which was followed by a series of high-stakes legal filings. When the world was watching their family vlogs, a darker reality was brewing behind the scenes. In late May, Shyla filed for a temporary restraining order against Landon in Los Angeles.
Landon and I, we broke up. He was abusive, physically, verbally, emotionally, you name it, our entire relationship.
Court documents surfaced where Shyla alleged that Landon had physically and mentally abused her. One specific incident involved an argument on May 10th, 2021, where she claimed he shoved her. Most shockingly, Shyla accused Landon of trying to kidnap their daughter, Shyla, on 2 separate occasions.
So there was 3 charges pending against me, which were domestic abuse, kidnapping, and the gun charges. So the kidnapping, also extremely false.
She claimed he had help from a mutual friend named Joe, also known as his cameraman and best friend.
Why are you doing this to me? I was like, what can I do? And I was like, I said, I'm calling the police, but my phone was in the car. Ran as fast as I could to the car,
which prompted her to call 911 in a desperate plea for help. But while Landon and the McBroom family scrambled to keep the narrative controlled, Shyla was determined to expose her truth at all costs. As a result, Shyla started to record, and the McBroom family plotted against her. Once the public caught wind of the headlines, Catherine publicly defended Landon and labeled Shyla a liar.
That's just kind of the personality that I am. So when she had said all these negative, dark lies about my family,
in her defense, Shyla claimed she had evidence that would not just break Landon's image, but would pull the thread that might unravel the entire McBroom dynasty. The world was waiting for an answer, and in September, she finally pressed upload. After months of living in this legal limbo and facing a total blackout from her former family, Shyla finally released her bombshell video. The truth. It wasn't just a vlog. It was a 45-minute takedown that included receipts the internet wasn't prepared for. The video was so explosive because it moved beyond rumors into documented evidence. The upload of the truth didn't just tell Shyla's side. It fundamentally shattered the carefully crafted image Landon had built over years of vlogging. Almost overnight, the public's perception of Landon shifted from a charismatic family man to the center of a domestic violence scandal, causing a massive decline in his fan support. While Shyla's video received a staggering 97.5% like ratio, Landon's rebuttal, titled "The Real Truth," was met with such overwhelming backlash and dislikes that he was eventually forced to restrict his comments entirely. His reputation took such a hit that many viewers began to view his content as a series of victim-playing tactics rather than authentic updates. This reputational collapse is exactly why his current relationship with Sofia Germano is under such intense scrutiny. For years, the internet watched Landon and Shyla's relationship unravel amid allegations of physical and emotional abuse. Now, as Landon attempts to rebrand his life with a new girlfriend, Sofia, and a new baby, Saya, Shyla claims the same toxic patterns never disappeared. They simply resurfaced with new faces. What was once a private breakup has evolved into a public reckoning, dragging his new relationship and new child directly into the crossfire. For many viewers, the breaking point wasn't simply Landon moving on. It was how his new life with Sofia Germano began to eerily mirror and in some ways appear to mock his past with Shyla. That history makes the current conflict feel impossible to ignore.
Photoshopped pictures on my child and pretend that she had like a third-degree burn. True or false?
I did not do that.
Oh my God, but you were complacent in it.
The latest explosion centers on Shyla's daughter Solene, whose birthday falls on December 19th. Shyla alleges that Landon and Sofia prevented her from seeing her daughter that day, despite a prior agreement, turning what should have been a milestone celebration into a public confrontation. For longtime followers, this moment feels chillingly familiar. Many immediately pointed back to the 2021 controversy, when Landon took Solene on her very first trip to Disneyland without Shyla, a milestone they had allegedly planned to share together as a family. Shyla has long claimed that the move wasn't accidental, but calculated, marking the start of a disturbing pattern of using their daughter as leverage during conflict. Now, years later, that same pattern appears to be resurfacing, only louder, more public, and far more explosive. And this time, Shyla says she's done staying quiet. Instead of walking away, Shyla hit record in an insane leaked phone call involving Landon's new girlfriend. This wasn't just an argument. It was a public war where Sofia was Shyla's new opponent. For months, Sofia had maintained a reputation for minding her business, strictly avoiding public comments on Landon's relationship with Solene's mother. That's why it was such a shocking escalation when she decided to break her silence by initiating the phone call to Shyla at 1 a.m.
I have questions from a mother to a mother about your child, her safety, what is implemented in this house.
This recording feels like a textbook example of psychological warfare, where a so-called mother-to-mother conversation quickly escalates into something far more hostile. While Sofia attempts to maintain a composed exterior, the conversation derails completely, shifting away from Solene's birthday and dissolving into a cycle of grievances, personal jabs, and insults. As the conversation grew increasingly toxic, Shyla unleashed a barrage of accusations, labeling Sofia as digitally prostituted by a man who exploits his family as tools for content farming.
Complacent in the exploitation of children and yourself. If you want to be digitally, that's on you. Do not involve my child.
The call hit a boiling point when Shyla accused both Landon and Sofia of orchestrating several staged medical crises, such as faking breast cancer. According to Shyla, this wasn't an isolated incident, but part of a disturbing pattern of exploiting medical trauma for clicks, including allegedly photoshopping injuries onto their children to keep audiences hooked. Shyla went on to claim that Landon had spent years using her image and their daughters alongside sensationalized thumbnails and misleading narratives for profit, calling the behavior disgusting and deeply unethical. What began as a tense discussion quickly spiraled into a chaotic screaming match. Sophia denied having any involvement in Landon's social media activity, but Shyla pushed back, arguing that even if Sophia wasn't the one hitting upload, she was still complicit by enabling the deception. The call ended without resolution, with both women openly stating they had no respect for one another.
We were on and off for 2 years and we were very casual. Reason why we did not get together was because
Why this chicken noodle head out calling me?
What was intended to be a conversation of clarity instead exposed a raw, unsettling breakdown involving two women caught in a cycle of hurt where there are no winners. Since the audio went viral, the internet has been deeply divided. Some say Landon has moved on and Shyla hasn't. But others hear something far more disturbing, a familiar pattern of control and manipulation resurfacing. So the question remains, is Shyla stuck in the past, or is she the only one brave enough to expose it?